In ethnic cleansing, what you're trying to do is to remove a particular ethnic group from an area that your own ethnic group would like to have. Removing the population to Indonesia, Libya, and Ethiopia, they have no place to go, and no one will take them in. Then what do you do with them if you've already made the decision that they have to leave?
Piers Morgan recently had on Omer Bartov, a leading genocide scholar who we actually spoke on my second channel, The Discourse. Actually, you can find it in my link tree in the description or in the pinned comment. I'll have it if you do want to check it out. We do debates and interviews every day on that second channel. But leave us a like on this video first if you can. Don't leave this. We're going to jump into some coverage between Piers and Omer on what's going on between Israel and Palestine from the lens of a genocide scholar.
You have to show intent to destroy a population in whole, a particular group, in whole or in part, as such. That is, what you're doing, you're not simply trying to kill people, you're trying to destroy the group. And you can do that through killing, and you can do it by other means. That is, to make life impossible for that group, to degrade it to an extent that it would never be able to reconstitute itself again as a group, even if many of the people remain alive.
This is a lot of the crux of what we spoke about in our conversation as well, because people simply misunderstand the term to think it's this like thing of great magnitude of death when it really isn't. It's truly a crime of intent. He actually spoke about how you could theoretically have genocide without killing any members of the group directly. Say you made life impossible for the group through various means, and then you transferred the youth of the group to a different ethnic population and prevented further births. That would be genocide. And in fact, Putin is charged with something similar against the Ukrainians. Killing in a large enough quantity can be evidence of intent, right? But it isn't at the center of genocide. And we also spoke on Raphael Lemkin, who coined the term genocide, who helped write the language for the Genocide Convention. To him, specifically, there was a strong cultural component of it, and he wanted it to be in the Genocide Convention directly. But it was like, there was a couple countries I can't remember off the top of my head that didn't want to sign on to it. And the ICJ recently added it, though, to their guidelines as evidence of intent when matched up with one of the 5 actions.
Israel succeeded, let's say, and there are talks about it now, of removing the population to Indonesia, Libya, and Ethiopia. Those who would be forced to leave after they were concentrated in a vast concentration camp on the ruins of Rafah, which is what the Minister of Defense, Israel Katz, talked about, then you would be destroying the group as such, although many people would remain alive. They would never be able to reconstitute themselves again as a group. And that was Raphael Lemkin, who came up with that definition, specifically stressed that that's the difference between genocide and massacre or crime against humanity or war crime. It is about the group and not simply about the individuals who make it up.
And that's where the Trump plan becomes just another key pillar of this whole genocidal scheme. If Israel has now done this massive amounts of cultural damage, hundreds of millions of dollars worth, wiped out historical sites, mosques, texts, and more that can never be replaced, then transfers the entirety of the group onto another, where slowly but surely the culture of what it means to be Palestinian begins to fade out. Their monuments and cultural history has been destroyed. The children are now introduced and assimilated into these other foreign countries. That's the final erasure of these people, even if they may remain alive in that scenario. This is why most people talking about deaths or the Palestinian population or whatever have no idea what they're talking about. They're just seeing people being ruthlessly slaughtered and want to defend it because the people dying are brown and racism, right? We're closer than ever to this being the reality of it being completed, as Trump is now fully in the pocket of Netanyahu to ungodly levels.
In ethnic cleansing, what you're trying to do is to remove a particular ethnic group from an area that your own ethnic group would like to have. And where they go and what they do once they leave is their business. You don't care about it. In genocide, what you're trying to do is to destroy that group as a group, wherever it is. Now, in this case, and in many, many other cases of genocide in history, they began as ethnic cleansing. And you can go as far back as 1904, the German genocide of the Herero. You can talk about the Armenian genocide by the Ottoman Empire in World War I. And indeed, the Holocaust itself began as an attempt by the Nazi regime to be rid of Jews, just to expel them, to force them to emigrate someplace. But when people don't move because they don't want to leave their homes or because they have no place to go and no one will take them in, then what do you do with them if you've already made the decision that they have to leave.
And with Israel, I believe the difference in intent is clear. We have the endless quotes of people in the Israeli government speaking of wiping Gaza off the map, comparing them, Netanyahu comparing them to a population in the Bible that was genocided, calling them animals, saying no civilians are innocent, along with, again, clear and intentional cultural damage, which the ICJ ruled can be used as evidence, right? With now ethnic cleansing being pushed as their agenda, they not only want to settle on the land, but they want to take as big of a chunk out of Palestinian culture and existence as they can, which is what makes this genocide. And it's sickening to see our PDF file president ready to give them whatever they need to do so. Never let MAGA tell you they're anti-war again. At this point, they're pro-genocide.